Alright, welcome in guys. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get unlimited mana in Oblivion. This is our character and we're starting off with 450 mana. This is completely vanilla, no mods, Oblivion Remaster. So we're going to use some clever buffs and reflect spells to buff ourselves using the Everscamp staff. And this allows us to make it a lot faster than using one single summon, as we have 4 different summons to reflect off simultaneously. So I'm going to show you how it works and then I'll explain the spells that we're using, okay? So as you can see, I have 450 mana right now, right? So first thing I'm going to do is actually cast Chameleon on myself and drink some regen potions. Now, I'm H&Ox, so I don't regen. The starting class is whatever you want, works great for this. Don't need to be H&Ox. We just recast with Chameleon. I'm going to cast a fortification buff on myself here. Doubling my mana pool almost. Alright, now we're going to reflect these scamps with a low-level reflect spell. I'm going to start buffing, which is being reflected onto me. So now I have 11,000 mana. I have to wait for my reflect to wear off. I'll cast a higher level reflect spell and a higher level buff now. I'm going to wait for the reflect to wear off because I don't want to get reflected onto myself. Reflect again. Let's do some more buffs. Alright, we got 700k. Let's break 1,000,000 here. Reflect again. Buffs. Alright, we got 10 million. Let's break that too. Let's get past that 10 million threshold. Alright. 116 million. That sounds pretty good. Alright, so this next part is how we're actually going to turn this into permanent mana. So right now I'm casting a very high level spell with a ton of cost. I believe this spell costs 15,000 mana. Alright. It's expensive to craft. So one of the aspects of this buff process is you will need a lot of gold. So hit up those Oblivion gates and get that Daedric armor and sell them so you can make an incredibly high cost spell. Because what's happening is these mana buffs that I have on myself are lasting 120 seconds, okay? So this 15,000 cost spell that I'm casting right now is going to cause me to crash into the negative mana pool once these 2-minute buffs wear off. The more negative we get, the better for this. So each one of these spells is going to give me permanent mana in the end. This is just a random spell that has a high cost. I'm summoning a Wraith. I'm doing a bunch of destruction magic here. It doesn't matter what this spell is. You just want the highest mana cost spell that you can create. So I think this specific spell costs about 30,000 gold. We didn't cheat at all for any of this. I just bought and sold Daedric armor. This is a level 30 character. You can get gold pretty quickly if you're crafty about it. Especially with, you're using feather spells or strength fortifying things allow you to carry more loot and bend it. So yeah, our buffs last for 2 minutes total off the scamps, right? It's important you cast as many times as possible. Alright, that's the 2 minutes. So we've crashed our mana down to 1.3 million negative. Now you're asking me, well, that doesn't help me at all. I'm negative 1.3 million mana. Here's the thing. You need to enchant any piece of gear, I'm using a ring, to give Drain Magicka on self 5 points. Now, what this is going to do is this is going to snapshot my current negative mana, cementing it to my character. Okay? So we're going to equip this ring. All right. So now, since this has snapshotted me, This mana has become permanent. It's attached to this ring. The ring registered that I had 1.3 million mana. That is exactly what's happening. So, we are going to eat a Vekland Stone. Now we have full mana. Don't look directly at the scamps, by the way. Don't do it. Don't do it. I have to wait for the buffs to wear off from them. Just to show you, though. I'm going to reload the area. There's a chance it will crash your CPU or your computer if you look directly at the imps. We have to wait for their buffs to wear off because we've stacked like millions of mana worth of buffs. So be careful with that. All right. We're good now. Our frames are back. And I will just show you here. We have 1.3 million mana. It's that simple. I can show you one of the spells that I've created here to actually use this mana effectively. This is a spell called Elemental Fury. It's giving me 100% magic resistance, 85 armor. It's paralyzing, doing 100 frost damage, 20 feet, fire, shock for 10 seconds, right? So you can see that this mana pool is actually functional. Now we're at 1.29 million out of 1.3. So it's really kind of as strong of mana spells as you can make, you can use. And if we had a higher mana cost spell, we could actually get to 10 million, 20 million, 100 million mana. It came down to the spell that we were using to crash our mana into the negative, which was Ghost Food. It's just a high cost mana spell. So as you can see, this spell costs 15 grand. If we had this cost 100 grand, you would be in the hundreds of millions of mana. Okay, it's that simple. This is the spell that I was spamming after I was buffed right on the wall. So that's going to determine how much mana you get. Okay, so if you want more than this, just make a higher cost spell. All right, show you exactly what we did. So, the first spell that we do in this cycle is called Chameleon. This is important, otherwise the scamps will attack you when you're doing this, okay? They will attack you. You do not want that. They will kill you because you're buffing them and you are standing still. The next spell I have is a simple fortification spell. This is just kind of a quality of life to make the spell chain easier, and I can chug mana potions through it, right? So you would cast that, and you would drink mana potions to replenish your mana to start the next part of the spell chain. So what we're casting on the stamps here is a simple reflect spell. All right, you can actually alter these values. You can do shorter times if you need to. It's not that rigid. So we're reflecting spell and touch, and we're giving weakness to magicka on ourself. Important. Very important, this spell. So that's spell number 1 that we're using on the scamps. Spell number 2 is a buff spell. We are buffing them with Fortify Int, Fortify Magic, and we are weakness magicking them this time, not us. Because the first part, reflect on them. So what that does is it reflects these buffs from them onto us, okay? That's exactly what it's doing. So you do this a couple times back and forth, right? So you would reflect them. I have 5 seconds, so I can get about 3 casts off on them. And I want to wait till the reflect is off. I'll do it again. Now what we're doing is we're starting to increase our mana pool, all right? The reason why this is important is because these next spells are going to cost a lot more mana. So at this point, you have buffed your mana into the 10,000 range, okay? So for the second spell, I have Chameleon, Reflect, Weakness to Magic, again, okay? I'm just refreshing my own Chameleon by reflecting it off of the imps onto me to guarantee they're not attacking, okay? So you cast that on them. And we're doing the final buff. So this is where you're going to have to use your mana pool that you've established from the previous buff. Okay? So this is a very expensive spell, but you will have that 1500 mana from the first sequence of buffs. So you bounce that reflect off, and then you do this buff. I can do about 3 times. I will go back to my previous reflect spell, cast it on them, do it about 3 or 4 times. You want to wait to make sure you're not reflecting your own reflect spell, okay? Does that make any sense? So you can see why I pause, because I have a 5-second duration of reflect on my scamps. Buffing. Give it a second. Buff again. This went too long. But that's the gist, okay? That's the gist. Make sure you're maintaining your chameleon better. And there you go. I think I explained everything you needed to know. I think I showed all the buffs. You can copy them down and pause the stream. So the way you get the scamps is from the quest for Staff of the Ebrick Scamp. You can Google that. There's one important part of it. At the end of the quest, you reach the final chamber, and there's a message that pops up that's something like the staff is no longer burdening you. Okay, so you're able to drop the staff. Do not turn the staff in. Instead, go into one of the bodies of one of the creatures you just killed, place the staff in the body, and then take the staff back. Because now you're no longer attached to the staff. It's not a quest item. Do not turn the staff in. Put it in a body and then get the staff back. That is how you get the imps permanently. Now, let's say you don't want to walk around with the imps because they are going to follow you. I will show you what to do here. Now that we have finished the quest, quote, we can stash the staff in our chest. Now, you'll notice that the imps are still following you, even though we have our staff stashed. Well, we got a solution for that. All you have to do is kill the imps. That's all you have to do. And just wait for them to respawn. And look, they're no longer following you. So now you have as much mana as you could possibly ever need, and you're free of the imp and the staff. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.